was often done to him. But regardless, the 26-year-old should
comfortable right now.
Oh.
Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old?
boys directly behind her in the audience. Justin realized he was trapped because no matter what he tried to say, she was trying.
Works. Answer Justin Bieber.
For no reason at all, Leah insisted on pushing this very sexual question while there are little girls and boys directly behind her in the audience. Justin realized he was trapped because no matter what he tried to say, she was trying to force the answer she wanted out of him, but he stood his ground and chose to not give in to her manipulation. This wasn't the first time Justin stood his ground when a host got sexual with him. While doing a radio show called Mojo in the Morning, the host, Shannon Murphy, brought the conversation in a strange direction.
Have your mom given you a sex talk yet? I mean, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother.
Yeah.
I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really?
Oh,
See, my
really?
parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
So why don't you give me a sex talk?
I feel uncomfortable right now.
Oh.
Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird.
He very clearly stated that he was uncomfortable when the host brought up sex, but the circumstances that built up to this are a bit confusing because earlier in the conversation, this happened.
Justin, what are you going to be doing after the show tonight? Thought I was picking you up.
Now, when I was 15 years old, I probably would have said some dumb stuff like that to an older girl, but apparently Justin couldn't keep his hands to himself.
That little kid is like a walking set of hormones. He is.
Got a little too touchy-feely with you?
He wasn't just like patting my butt, he was grabbing my butt. He kept saying, is it inappropriate? Is it inappropriate?
Oh my God.
And he grabbed it harder and goes, is it inappropriate now? Is it inappropriate now? Oh my gosh, he's kissing me. Here, come sit here. Come sit with me right here. Justin Bieber just like cuffed up me. We just started making out with me, you know that?
Justin was obviously flirting with Shannon in a juvenile way. Then she said live on air how Justin was touching and kissing her. We can imagine there were definitely some instances where Justin felt like he could probably touch whoever and whatever he wanted, since, well, it was often done to him. But regardless, the 26-year-old shouldn't have brought up the sex conversation on the air. Even men were infatuated with young Bieber. L.A. Reid, music executive who signed Justin to his first major record deal, said, "This kid was beautiful. Like a woman can be beautiful, and men rarely are. And he turned it on as soon as he stepped into the room." He recalls how Bieber had grown his hair down, almost covering his eyes, and says he could see immediately that Justin's hair would be every bit as important as his songs, his voice, his face, or his presence. Justin was simply beautiful. He gushes. His superpower was his face. The context of this article makes it seem like L.A. Reid was attracted to the young Bieber, but we don't really know that for sure. He was definitely right about his star power, but how he came to that conclusion just seems a little odd. However, the most deplorable assault was by Jenny McCarthy at the 40th Annual American Music Awards. A shocked Justin Bieber couldn't say anything but the truth. "I feel violated right now." By this point, this was all too common for him. The craziest part is that Jenny straight up admitted to her crimes.
I took the opportunity in the window, considering I'll never get to do it again, and kind of molested him. It did.
Jenny clearly enjoys the predatory behavior, as she described it as molestation and R-word. She thinks it's cute and quirky and even bragged about it on Twitter after. Now, if this all happened while the cameras were on, could you imagine what happened while the cameras were off? Just like many child stars, Justin turned to drugs. Every teenager experiments, but he was trying to cope and escape, which led to behavior that left a permanent stain on his reputation. For all the people that hated Justin, he was about to give them a stronger reason. And for all the people with unrealistic expectations, they were about to be crushed. His first controversy began in 2013 when TMZ leaked photos of him holding what appeared to be a blunt. Although Justin faced no charges for the incident, this was our first clue that Bieber was beginning to shed his wholesome image. Things took a turn for the worse later that same year. While on the European leg of his Believe tour, Justin stopped in England just in time for his 19th birthday. Later that day, Bieber tweeted, "Big night ahead," anticipating his birthday celebration. He and his entourage had planned a $8,000 birthday bash, booking tables at the Cirque du Soleil Club in Soho. Unfortunately, the celebration didn't meet expectations after members of Justin's entourage were denied entry into the club because a few of the members of Bieber's party were under the suitable age of 18. Justin tweeted, worst birthday, complimented with a message to his Instagram account, voicing his side of the story. I love how the club wanted to give the press another reason why we didn't stay at their weak-ass club, so they wouldn't look bad for me walking in and right back out. People thought Justin felt entitled to come into another country and break the rules because he is a star. From there, he allegedly showed up 2 hours late for his debut show at the O2 Arena after throwing a massive tantrum. Several backstage sources claim Bieber was in a bad mood after waking up late because of a night out and proceeded to lock himself in his dressing room to play computer games. The crowd reportedly began booing at about 9:30 p.m., almost an hour before Justin ultimately hit the stage. If the week couldn't get any worse, Justin lashed out at a photographer outside his London hotel after the man called him a little moron.
What'd you say? You are watching. What'd you say? You are what? You prick back, alright? That's all. You little.
As you're about to see, this series is going to turn everything you think you know about business growth completely on its head. So, if you already think you know it all, I don't have new ideas. This training is not. You're the type of entrepreneur that wants to train, doesn't ever take action. Well, you're in the wrong place. If you're actually serious about growing your business, you have to make a choice right now. You can watch this entire series right now and finally.
I just love the irony of this situation. The photographer tries to get a rise out of Justin, then Justin responds with threats, then the photographer gets really mad at Justin for getting mad at him, and the guy also taking a video of the situation gets upset when someone starts filming him. It's ridiculous. He responded on Twitter by saying he had a rough morning and that he let his emotions get the best of him. But this incident started his lifelong beef with the paparazzi. In June of 2013, Justin and his entourage were involved in an altercation with a photographer outside the Hit Factory studio in Miami. The entire exchange was caught on tape. Later that same day, Justin was skateboarding outside the Hit Factory when another photographer began snapping photos of him. Bieber's bodyguards allegedly rushed the photographer, and one started choking him. The photographer claimed that he grabbed his camera and removed the memory cards. It seemed like every few months there was another controversy, just slowly chipping away at his reputation. Like when he peed in a cleaning bucket while partying. Justin and his friends left the nightclub through the restaurant's back entrance before stopping to relieve himself in the kitchen, more specifically in the bucket that is filled with water to clean the floors. This is just another inconsiderate drunk teenager doing what a million others have done before. Justin should know better. Then while passing through China during the Asia leg of his Believe tour, a picture was posted of him being carried up the stairs, which caused people on the internet to label him as a diva. His controversies were definitely minor in the beginning. He was being heavily criticized, attacked in blogs and by TMZ for the situations that were pretty small, but the controversies just never stopped. The coverage got more detailed, and the reactions just got worse, including the time he caused an entire revolution in Colombia. In November 2013, Justin was undergoing the Latin American section of his Believe tour. While in Bogota, Colombia, Justin snuck out of his hotel to do graffiti in an area where graffiti is banned. He painted a marijuana leaf and the Canadian flag while the police provided him with security. We aren't sure why the police decided to protect him, and the locals were outraged, because 2 years prior, a police officer shot and killed an unarmed 16-year-old kid while he was spraying graffiti in an area similar to the one where Justin did his. Rebellion against law enforcement broke out because if Justin Bieber can spray graffiti, so can they. And if the police protected Justin, they should defend graffiti artists instead of harassing and incarcerating them. 300 artists came together and occupied the area where Justin sprayed his graffiti, and over 24 hours painted more than 700 pieces of graffiti. Justin Bieber was the cause for all of this to happen. The poor dude had no idea what he sparked, said one of the young graffiti artists. The rebellious graffiti trend spread like wildfire to other major cities across Colombia, with hundreds of other artists joining the movement. He also had a spitting problem, with multiple reports over the years of him spitting on people during violent outbursts, including his own fans, who were visiting him outside of his hotel in Toronto where he spat down on them. breaking out into laughter with his buddies. And he took a photo of his view, which was posted on Instagram sporting a caption about how he has the best fans in the world. In 2014, he spat in his neighbor's face after a heated argument, which started by Justin driving his Ferrari at over 100 miles per hour down the road. When his neighbor confronted him at the front doorstep, Justin told him to get the F out of here.